Hey, welcome to I already forgot, 13 of the PTL. This week we're taking on the Haxo Haalderen, and uh, DJ is the coach. I did it backwards. So just a little bit of context. We did lose last week. It brought us down to 7-5. Now that leaves us in sixth place in the standings, and with our borked ass playoff system, that does not qualify me for the playoffs. So we have there's every team ahead of us has more wins. There's three teams with 8 wins and two teams with 9 wins, and we're at 7. So basically, there's like no room for losses anymore. We still have like the second best differential in the league. So just by nature of needing to gain games back, we'll have a differential advantage on anybody. Like if we get to the same record. So like if I win and another team loses, I already have a better differential, so I'm guaranteed to have one basically. So it's really just about getting games back on people, which involves actually winning. So this matchup is, let me start on Mega Gugu. So I don't think I talked about it, but I picked up Yon Mega over Quagsire and Volby because I wasn't actually going to use them, and I needed like the offense. I think. Did I need the offense? I don't know. I didn't need Quagsire, I guess. So yeah, I don't find any particular thing about DJ's team like that threatening, other than like Emboar and Primarina is basically if they're like choiced in some way, especially specs are banded, and I can't kill them. I basically have to let something die or predict their move well enough to not let something die. So those two are just offensive threats, but everything else on his team I can handle pretty well. And I'll kind of explain why. So starting off, we do have the first appearance of Yan Mega, the Mega Gearus. I'm Life Orb Tinted Lens, so basically anything below Gliscor, Air Slash, Old Toast, and Embor that's not Scarf. Bug Bells will hit an Umbreon. Air Slash will hit Heracross. Even Primarino, Tinted Lens, Bug Buzz will do well over half. So like I tear down all his defense with this thing. If I max speed and I put on HP Ice, I had Roost before, but I figured HP Ice. I came into a situation where Bug Buzz wasn't a 2-hit KO on Gliscor, and I was getting stall Toxic Orb. Well, it wasn't. I think it was like doing 55%, but with Toxic Orb, I wasn't able to kill it. So there's that. I mean, Kartana, Megalodios, and Weavile. Well, Megalodios not really if I'm at full health, but Kartana and Weavile can probably OHKO me. So that's bad. Actually, I don't know. I have 56 base, but so I don't know. Yamaga is just like a very good offensive pivot for me. So I can force him out, get huge damage on anything because of that tinted lens, and I have a good speed matchup for once. And I just have life forward for lots of damage, so it should do good. I don't know. We'll have to see because it's definitely not a switch into anything more or less. Besides his more defensive guys. So next is Zera coming for the 90th time. I'm a subcom mindset this week. I figured there's quite a few things, something like an Almamola, an Umbreon. I guess foul play probably still breaks my sub because even with like no attack investment. But I figured the special side will help me with like Gliscor and Almamola, and even like Beware and shit. Because he has much better physical answers to Zera than especially, and also Kartana, like a +1 HP ice might take it out. So there's just chances that I'll be able to set up with this thing or just get KOs. Actually, I guess Thunderbolt does more than HP ice to Kartana. Don't forget the math, guys. 1.5 multipliers. All around, and there's Wiki Berry in case I'm in a situation where I'm at like 40 percent 40 something percent health, and I could just sub to get the 50 back and get a net gain of like 25% health or whatever, math. So I don't know. It's like my second special Zera, maybe. I don't even know if I brought a full special Zera yet, so that could be interesting. Here we have a defensive Celesteela, so obviously this is going to handle Kartana. It's going to be annoying to Latias. At the very least, I can break its sub with Heavy Slams. I minus Special Attack Nature because the Flamethrower is really just there for Kartana. And like, sort of Umbreon, whatever. So I'm going to have Leech Seed and Toxic. Hopefully be able to Toxic down his defensive guys. And then Leech Seed, get health back. It's a pretty straightforward Celesteela, but it has a good matchup here. It can take a hit from Weavile. Gliscor and this thing will basically stall each other out because Gliscor with Roost, like I'm not gonna be able to do enough damage to overcome Roost and Toxic. But he also like unless he's a Smackdown set, which I was kind of like I had suggested to detrain my basically dedicated mock partner for this league. That like I was thinking like a Smackdown Earthquake set would make a lot of sense for Gliscor because then it can run Smackdown Earthquake, Roost, and filler, Toxic or Rocks or whatever. And there's not a lot my team can do, or even U-turn or something. So I figured he had move slots open for Gliscor to be able to run that. So I was kind of worried about that because otherwise I can kind of just like force him into roosting and then eventually switch out or something. But I don't know. So here is Serp coming in. I am a Yachi Berry for something like Weavile or Ice Beam Latias or Ice Beam Prim even though he'd probably just click Moonblast. But I'm Leaf Storm, Giga Drain, Dragon Pulse, HP Fire. Hits everything on his team. Giga Drain in case I get special attack boosts, and then I can heal myself if he's trying to whittle me down if he gets a Toxic off. I could have been Lumberry, but I figured with the Weavile threat and all that, I can just guarantee I'll be in good standing with this thing. And I'm just max speed. I think there's a potential Scarfer. I think like Embor, it's like a speed tie or something, or I outspeed. I think that's why I'm max speed is for Scarf Embor. But I'm not 100% sure. But this thing's not going to do much to Scarf Embor if it's not already in and boosted. But I think Superior has like actually an incredible offensive matchup here. I mean, it's something like a Scarf Heracross is a little bit spooky, but that's okay. And now we're running a weird like defensive Dragon Dance Altaria because fairy moves he has no fairy resist besides Kartana, and a flamethrower from this thing will just take it out. So if I can get like 2 Dragon Dances up, outspeed a Scarf Kartana, and then return the rest of the things on his team, and then it's kind of annoying because I would like Heal Ball on this thing because he does have like some decent Toxic users, but I figure that this has this like it could be one of those things where Altaria comes in and gets, kills 2 things and gets a chunk on a third before dying, and then it's just I can clean up. I feel like I have a lot of ways to break through his team and leave another amount to clean up. So that's kind of the game plan. I think I have a very good offensive matchup against a lot of his team, and I have a decent defensive matchup besides Embor and Prim. Like those are the ones where it's like Specs Prim. It's like, okay, is he gonna go Moonblast and I have to switch into Arcanine or Celesteela, or is he gonna go a Water move and I have to switch into Altaria or Superior? So either way, it's kind of a rough one. And that could cause issues for me, especially if he leads it and I don't have any way to really Oko it, unboosted stuff. Because I think even like Zero with a Thunderbolt or Superior with a Leaf Storm, so just because I'm not Modest or Total Max special attack, couldn't really one shot it. And then finally, very obviously, I'm facing a Kartana. I'm gonna bring more defensive Arcanine, so this thing can handle Kartana and Weavile and not Gliscor at all, but I also have a Toxic to catch a Latias, hopefully. I do have a couple Toxic users and no Heal Bell when he has an Umbreon that can synchronize, but I figured it's still, like, fine. If Umbreon's not there, then Alamomola or whatever. This also handles Heracross, Heracross is a little bit spooky to my team, because if it's Scarfed and gets, like, Stone Edge off, all of a sudden things are, it's +1, and it's like, okay, we'll have to go from there. If I didn't get damage on it, then it's at full health, and I can't Oko it. I don't know. I mean, I obviously certain things can handle it, but like if it can switch in, get a kill, switch back out, stay healthy, and do all that, and switch between like fighting and rock really messes my team up, like very much so. So well, I mean, especially without Slowbro. I mean, and obviously Heracross is gonna have a bug move for Slowbro. So if you have Kartana on your roster and your opponent has Arcanine's coming. Just it's a beautiful answer. I mean, even if he comes in and Swords Dances, it's like, what is he gonna +1 knock off me? And it's not killing anything ever. So I don't know. I think I've built like whatever I need to build. I think this one's one of those. It's a matter of play, and it's a matter of keeping my my answers healthy. So if we're trading 1-for-1s and all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, Celesteela is at 30% and Arcanine is low, and all of a sudden like Scarf Kartana sweeps me because it outspeeds everything else and whatever, it's because I don't have a Scarfer. So it's like I could leave myself in a situation where Kartana could clean up if I leave my best two answers in Celesteela and Arcanine dead, and he gets like a +1 from a steel move or a knockoff or Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword is probably the best option. So it's kind of weird. So it's like I just need to make sure I have like two answers to Kartana and have at least one of them above 50% or something, so they can make sure they can take a hit. And otherwise, I think I'll be fine. Kartana could be orange. It'd be orange in theory, but like it's yellow because of my prep. But I don't know. So we'll see how the battle went. It's gonna be post comms for the rest of the regular season, just so you know. And thanks for watching up to this point. Let's watch the battle now while I narrate. That's the deal, right? I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm just making stuff up. All right, here we go. So, looking at his team, I just jump right into it. Kartana, Weavile, and Latios, or Mega Latios, whatever, are all here. Gliscor's here. Prim and Umbreon are here. So basically, no Emboar, which is good for me because like I said, I don't really have like head smash switch-ins or anything like that. I think Slowbro is probably the one that that like negated his Emboar Bring and like speed tiers and stuff. So like that's fine for me. Otherwise, I'm looking at him. I'm like, well, who's his lead? Maybe a Weavile, maybe a Gliscor, maybe even Prim. So I'm thinking like there's some decent Yachi options for Superior to just come in and start on the right foot. So he's going to go Gliscor, and I'm going to go Superior. And then we're going to Leaf Storm turn 1 because I outspeed, and he just didn't want to take the damage. So now I am +2. I can hit this thing with the Dragon Pulse. It does a lot, and the Yachi pops, which is good for me. It keeps me at decent health. It wouldn't have killed, but that's okay. And based on the first Leaf Storm damage, I know a second +2 will take him out. And here I make sort of a risky play. I could have gone for another Leaf Storm, but I decided to Giga Drain. And it does work out for me because he just goes for Foul Play for damage, thinking that he would maybe die, or maybe I'd try to sub or something. But my sub actually could have lived that on that damage roll. But anyways, so Umbreon goes down in my good health, and it's a great start for me. Huge chunk on Latios, and he's going to make a variable play and stay in, or bring Weavile in on Serp and go for the knockoff when I've already lost my item. And we're getting a little bit behind, but that's okay. I lose my Rocky Helmet, I get back up, I go Neon Mega on the Gliscor, and I'm able to immediately defog his rocks away, which is great for me. But now he's going to U-turn into Prim, and like I said, I don't really have switches for his thing, and when he has a Surf or a Moonblast option, I can't do it. So he's actually like very bulky because that was Tinland Life Orb Bug Buzz, and it didn't do half, but it's okay. I go back into Serp, get back to +2. This time I'm not gonna try to predict him to go for another knockoff or whatever. Arcanine is just gonna freely come in on this Weavile every time. And now I can double back into Superior once again, protecting the Gliscor. The Gliscor is gonna come in on Arcanine every time. I can't Toxic it, I can't really damage it, it's gonna heal it up. So I do miss a Leaf Storm, that's a little unfortunate. He's gonna get a U-turn off, but all that meant is less damage on Gliscor, as I double into Celesteela and Leech Seed him. And here I'm just going to go for the Heavy Slam. There's no predictions to make. I don't need to go for a second Leech Seed. And he turns out goes into Latias to try to get outspeed Roosts off, but I hit the Heavy Slam. And my defense raises, and that's pretty... we're at turn 18. That's pretty much game. He's going to go into Kartana. Hope maybe I don't have Flamethrower. I do. Crit. Doesn't matter. So he has nothing to break through. The second Prim and Mega Latios were his only things for Celesteela, which is kind of like a risky way to play against the Celesteela, to have two non-stab special hits for it. But he's just gonna go stuff because Gliscor can't touch me. He's obviously not the Smackdown set I was thinking. But like I said, I can't actually touch him, and between U-turn and Earthquake, I don't really have a good way to take on this Gliscor besides Altaria, which so it's kind of sucky that I have to like stall his thing. Like he knows for a fact he can't win. Like literally, I could PB stall him with Celesteela, But I'm just gonna go for a return, see how much it does. It doesn't do a lot. Earthquake doesn't do a lot to me because I'm bulky. So basically, what happened was I got the lead correct on him, and he did not have it's like Celesteela and Superior alone won this game clearly, but you can just watch what's happening here. Like it's very straightforward. So yay, there we go. Pick up the kill with Altaria. That is a nice 5-0. Couldn't get the 6-0. Wasn't trying to. Yan Mega's somewhat unfortunate first battle, but I mean, it defogged rocks away and did 50% to a big threat, which allowed Superior to come in. So I think Superior went 3-0 there, or maybe only 2-0. It took out Umbreon and Primarina, and then Celesteela took out Latias, Weavile, and Kartana. So Celesteela went 3-0 there. That was a great game for Celesteela and Superior, and then I just cleaned up with Altaria. So like I said, Celesteela and Serp just won that game. I wouldn't say it was bad prep on his part. Obviously, Emboar was like the common thread between Celesteela and Serp not being able to sweep. But I mean, like I said, if I brought like a defensive Slowbro, he basically didn't have much to do with Emboar unless it was banded, and then he would have another wild. He would have to run Wild Charge and also click it. In addition to like head smash and dual stab, so like that thing would have been whittled down very quickly, and banded would have been the only way for him to really like damage my Slowbro, or else Slowbro comes in, takes less than half every time. He's taking recoil. Like I could see why he didn't bring Emboar, but like in hindsight, he needed to, especially with the team I brought. Like prep wise, yeah, it makes sense, but. So there we go. It was just an extremely successful game. I missed one Leaf Storm, which ended up not mattering because it was on a U-turn. It wouldn't have KO'd the Gliscor, and I would have had to switch out on the Weavile. So I think I just it was one of those games where I got the prep extremely well, and then I got the leads right. Like that's how I'll always say this. I try to win games before they start. But basically as soon as the first mons hit the field. So if I have my prep right and I see their team and I go like, okay, there's nothing here I can't handle, and then I can lead and have a good matchup. Like that's just like the control I like in a battle. And I had it here, and there's just like I don't know. I think this was just a good matchup for me too. Like, cause DJ's won some games. It's nothing crazy, but you know that's just how it goes. So with that, I'm actually gonna go over the standings a little bit because this is week 12, week 13. It's week 13 now. So let's just see what happens. I'll have the league table pop up. So at the end of week 13, we were fortunate that both DFP and Trenton Thunderous lost their games. So what happened there is I gained 2 games back, and like I said, I already had differential lead on them. But since they both lost, I jump into 4th place which is a playoff qualifier, and puts me good to go. And also the Self Steelers, who also had 7 wins with me, lost another game, which was rough for them. They lost it to Gray, who goes to 10-3. So now we're back in the hunt. We're still in can't lose territory because even with the I have the differential advantage, but obviously I need the game advantage. So I'm only 1 game back from 2nd and 3rd, which either of them lose. Like I have the best differential in the league now. Good for me. That should not say L1, but that's okay. I'll fix it. No, wait, it won't say L1 for you, hopefully. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a good thing. So next week we're actually playing the Victoria Victinis. You can see them; they're down in 9th with a 7-6 record, which like isn't even bad. And it's Zombie, who's beaten me before. He's a pretty good coach. His team is actually decent against mine. He's been complaining about his draft a lot, but like I don't think it's terrible. I just think it's not his style, and he's had a few like rough battles where he's just like, I hate this team. So that's fine. So we'll see. Also, you know, Jack won his game and is staying ahead of us. Salty and the Marowaks lost another game. They lost 2 straight. So after starting that undefeated streak, like 7 or 8 games, I think they were 8-0. Salty was. Jack had actually now passed him. Who Gray and both those top 2 teams. Hey, did I battle them and lose 1-0 when I totally could have won? Yeah, that sounds familiar, idiot. So yeah, that's the thing. So that's an easy first place hypothetically for me, but we're not gonna look back to weeks like 2 and 4 or whatever, or 2 and 5. I don't remember. So there we go. So it was a great week for us, 5-0 win. But kind of a like a short-lived like breath of fresh air where it's like we still have to keep winning to make sure we can guarantee this top spot. So thanks for watching this week. Next week, as I said, we'll play Zambambo, Zombie Crombie, and see how that goes. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.